So this is a 2019 Vulcan Classic, and I'm going to make this video real simple. If you are looking to change out all of your stock lights to LEDs, okay, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do, okay? And at the end of this video, I will put a list of every piece that I replaced on here from my Amazon account, and you'll be able to see that. So I did replace the stock bulb. I went for LED. It is bright, it's fantastic. So the other day, I wanted to change out all the turn signals, the front and the rear and the brake light. I went ahead and ordered 4 of these clear covers, all right? And these are made by Kawasaki. I hope I'm saying that right. But you can get them off of Amazon. There are 2 of them for $14 or a little bit less than that. And they are fantastic. I mean, these things are better than the originals. They're great. They're high quality. And as you can see inside there, what I ordered was for the 2 front were 1157 switchbacks. If you don't know what that is, you'll see in there that there's amber and there's yellow. Now the yellow, that's just the way the color of the LEDs are. So that's bright white. And then there's also the amber for your turn signal. So since I went with clear, I didn't really want to put a amber bulb in, so I went with LED switchbacks. So what that means is when you are just driving the bike, these light up super bright white. And when you go to turn, whichever one you're turning to will turn to amber. And then when you're done with the turn, they switch back to white. Very cool. When you get back to the rears, I did the same thing back here. I put the Kawasaki covers on there, and I went with 1156s. That's the number that you need for the back turn signal lights. 1156. The front are 1157. The rears are 1156. And the bulb in here is basically the same as the turn signal lights. I want to say these are also 1157s. I'll have to double check. Just again, pay attention. At the end of this video, I'll put pictures up of each one of the parts that I ordered for this. And super easy to change. Everything on this is easy to change. You push in and turn and twist, and they come right out, and you just change them out. They fit great. So the problem that you run into on these bikes is that once you get the first 2 done, they flash perfect. Once you get the 3rd one done, they flash perfect. Everything's great. Once you put that 4th bulb in, I don't know what it is, once you put the 4th bulb in, these things all hyper flash. Now, I like the hyper flash, in my opinion. I wanted to keep it hyper flash, but once you put that 4th bulb in, instead of hyper flash, what it does is it turns your turn signals into hazard lights. So as you can see, I took off I'll show that here in a second. The dash here, and I'll explain that here in a second. So what was happening is that the accessory, the bike's not turned on, but the accessory, the keys turn on accessory. So what's going to happen is that, and I can't show it right now, unfortunately, because I have that dash out. And let me show you the lights. Here's the turn signal here, how it turns amber, and then it'll switch back to the white and then do the amber light over there. So that's the switchback. And then these ones here are nice and bright. As you can see, they'll work there. Okay, so here's the problem. On your dash, and I have it in the house. I'm gonna have to probably go get it, and then I'll explain this video a little bit easier. Hold on. And I'm gonna just leave that sitting right there for a minute. So all these little lights in here, these are T5 lights. They're little tiny things that just twist in and out once you remove all these screws. And the reason this is out is because Amazon on its way, I'm getting all new T5 lights. So when you turn the signals, like right now I have it disconnected, so it's perfectly fine. Everything works great. But once you turn it, when the speedometer and all the gauges are connected, this little light in here, which is an incandescent light, so there's a little tiny ass bulb in there. And what it does, it throws off the whole system. It works perfect when this whole thing is unplugged. I do have a relay in here. I will explain that also. It's underneath the seat. You just have to replace the relay. It takes 2 seconds, and I'll show you that here in a little bit. So once Amazon gets here, I'm gonna take the back off here. There's 5 screws, and these little lights in here, they just twist on the board that's underneath. They just twist out. It's very easy to do. I'll do a video of that too. And once I plug that back in, it should be fine. Top off here, you'll see this little guy right here. There's a screw right there that you got to take out, and then this allows this thing to free up. And all you got to do is just push on that little pin, and then that comes right off. And here's the little buggers right here. They're called T5s, and they just unscrew. All right, I'm gonna see if I can't hold it here. You know what? I'm not gonna hold it. Okay, so I told you once you guys get all the LEDs changed, not the headlight or the tail light, the brake light. That is not determined. That doesn't have any hyper flash or anything like that. So you will have hyper flash if you do not change this little relay right here. Okay. Now, honestly, I just want to go ride. So you got to take that screw out. You got to take that screw out and take out this little panel here. This little relay has a wire that connects to it. It's a white wire. It's located right down here, right underneath that corner. And it goes in, it sits in there just like this. You just slide it right out. There's no lock or anything on it. It just slides right out. You take your new one, which I'm gonna show you which one to get, and it has the wire with it already, and you just connect it to the bike, plug this thing right back down into that little socket, put all this back on. All this stuff here is my DVR for my rear camera and my front camera. I keep that right there. Okay, so that's that problem. So once you have the relay put in, take care of that with the once you have all the LED turn signals, front and rear put in, there's no hyper flash. But what you end up having is, if you don't change this light out right here from a T5, there's 3 of them, okay? You have to take this screw out, this panel comes off, this comes off. I'll show you in previous video, you saw that it was all torn apart. Just change out the T5 in these guys. And when you put it back together, okay, here's what you get. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the bike, and let's see if, okay. So once you decide to turn the signal, that's all that it does. Okay? No matter which way you go, left or right, that's all it does. In my opinion, that's not a deal breaker. That's just the way it is. I don't know, unless you actually take this and have this, the wiring looked at, you're probably not gonna solve it on your own, and I'm not gonna worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. These 2 are the biggest for me, and would I like to have it fixed? Sure, but I don't care. At night when I'm riding, I'll still be able to see this. I can actually still see it during the day. And if it's something that you're worried about, like I do have a tendency to leave those stupid things turned on and kind of forget as I'm turning, like a lot of us probably do. But it's not a deal breaker to have all of the LEDs, having all the bright lights, and having just an awesome brighter experience with this motorcycle. I mean, it just looks cooler, but it's also a lot more safe in my opinion. At night, these things are super bright. Even during the day, people see it coming with these extra white lights instead of the amber. It's just easier to see, guys. I'm gonna take another video. I'm gonna go riding here in a little bit tonight, and I got an underglow kit that I put in, and I'm going to go ahead and take it for a ride now, of course, but I'm also going to ride it a little bit later, and I'll show you the lights. All right, guys, these lights are super bright. This is the first time turning them on at night. I just finished a night ride. Look at that shit right there. Holy hell. I don't even need auxiliary driving lights with these things. I mean, people see you coming, and that's a really good thing. I've noticed that these lights here are super ass bright. Here, let me put it in gear. Get rid of that. Here, let me see if I can get rid of this light too. Might not be able to get rid of the camera light. So when it's turning, let me see if I can, there we go. So you can see what it does. Okay, so even at night, it's not a problem. You can see it very clear. Even during the day, it's not a problem. It's not as bright as it would be if I had that incandescent bulb in, but I'm perfectly fine with it. The switchbacks work great. Look how bright these things are. All right, here's the rear. I mean, these things are super, super bright, and I can't complain one bit about how this bike is just completely lit up now. I'm actually going to add another, I'm going to get some extension pieces and kind of do back here and then under the front. I just decided to put most of them right there, but super, super bright. Guys, thanks for watching. I really hope this video helped. This is the easiest way that I found to do these LEDs, and actually the cost on them was, I think I spent $120 for everything. That's the headlight, tail light, all the turn signals, the turn signal lenses. I'm trying to think what else. All the T5s that go up into here, into the gauge cluster here. It's about 120 bucks. You guys can spend probably a little bit less, depending on what brand you go with. I mean, I ordered everything off of Amazon, so you know, you could spend a little bit more, you could spend a little bit less, and that's just what I have into it. And in my opinion, it's a fantastic $120. Stick around. Right after this, I am going to throw up the
guys,
info
so here's the boxes
on the stuff that I
ordered.
Thanks, guys.
So here is the tail light. It came with two, so you do have a spare. All right, and here is the number here. All right, this is a tail light. It's an 1157. It's the same as the two front turn signal lights, only this is not a switchback. So this just is all white LEDs, so it's super bright. The box, I don't know what I did with it for the two front turn signal lights, but they are also 1157 switchback, so just remember that. These two, this is the 1156, so these are the tail lights, and this is the one that I ordered, made by Oxlight, and hopefully that'll help you out a little bit. Those are the two tail lights. These are the dash lights, those three T5 dash lights, and they come in a pack of 10, so you've got plenty to spare if they burn out. These are all LEDs, so these are probably going to last you a long time. Here's your flasher control. This controls the hyper flash that is going to happen on your bike when you switch over to all LED. Remember, LF1S pin. That's all you need to do. You don't have to get this one. You can get any of them from what I understand, but I can tell you right now, this one works. As far as the lens covers, so these are the replacement turn signal lenses. They're clear. These are made by Kawasaki, and here is this one right here. I think that's the only one on Amazon, actually. So if you just look up Kawasaki clear lenses, you'll be fine. Like I said, other than the box that I threw away for the headlight, which I can't seem to find, it was actually a 2-pack, so I know I have them here somewhere. So I have a spare brake light, I have a spare headlight, and then I've got some spare T5s. The rest of these you're going to use, and that's it, guys. Hopefully this video helps you out. Bye.